Okay, so funny story. After I swapped my door out the other day, I was having an issue where my climatic control, the AC down here was just saying, it was just blank. There's no power to it at all. And I couldn't figure out why it just randomly stopped working. I went through every fuse in here. Nothing was blown. I called Marvin. It just didn't make any sense that there's just absolutely no power. Normally it says off if there's like, if you're not using it, but it was just blank. No power to it at all. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I was going through this again, like trying to figure out something. And then at one point I was checking for the door. I pulled out this 7.5 right here. And somehow I pulled it out of this one. If I can pull it out again. I pulled this one out, it's not blowing, and I put it back into this spot. But if you look in there, there's no actual connector in there. And I just noticed that, so I put this one back into this one, and then it worked. So it was my own fault. But I was like losing my mind, like, man, why does it just stopped working randomly? There's no power, nothing's blown. But I put this little fuse, this little 7.5, I put it in the wrong spot. So if your stuff ever's not working, check where you put the fuses back, because I mean, I don't know. I was messing with this door for so long, and I just couldn't figure out why the door wasn't working, and then I put this in the wrong spot, and then that wasn't working, and I was just like, this is a whole mess. But now, we're good. Everything works. So this goes back into its correct spot, and if you look over here, now it works. So all is well. I'm gonna call Marvin real fast and tell him what was wrong, because we went back and forth yesterday, couldn't figure it out. Let's see what he says when he finds out what I did. Hey, so guess what? I figured out why my climatic control stopped working.
What was it?
I put a fuse, the 7.5 fuse, into the wrong slot. So all that time messing with my door the other day, and I was pulling out every fuse checking for a blown one, I put that one fuse in the wrong spot, and that's what it was. Yep. So everything's all good to go now.
That's good to hear.
I just thought it was funny. So the plan for today, we must go through and start making some progress on getting things buttoned up in the Savoy engine bay. So I went ahead and grabbed these today. We can go ahead and get the shift link actually connected to the tower, so that'll all be finished. And then I want to go ahead and pull out the battery and pull this tray out and get it painted same color as this, the nice gloss black, because this crustiness, that's not gonna fly. Got these shifter end links on right here. Sometimes these things are such a pain to snap on and also snap off without breaking them, but thankfully they went all right. I'm gonna go ahead and put the tower in the service mode, and then we'll go through and adjust these and see if we have all the gears. We have the tower here now locked in place. Use this little L-shaped pin right there. You push this down a little bit, and then that slides in and holds this in place. And then on the inside, we have the pin through the shifter, which is right there, holding this from moving anywhere. So now we can go to the front and adjust our cables, which is very easy to do. All you want to do is pull all the slack at each cable. And once you have all the slack out, clamp your lines down like so. And then same for the next one. With this battery here, there's not a lot of room in this engine bay. All right, so that should be all we need. This one is on, this one's on, so we can go ahead and get this out of service mode. Now it can move again. Let's go ahead and pull the pin out and see how it feels. Now obviously I don't have a clutch pedal yet, but all right, that's out. So we got first, second, third, fourth, and then fifth, and then down. Sound good? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and hang on. Reverse. Okay. It might need a little fine tuning, but for the most part, I think they're all there. All right, so shifter is done for now. Now we can go ahead and pull the battery out and get this thing painted up. Get this pulled out of here. If I can do this one-handed or not, because all of the wires won't have everything. There she is. Yeah, no more crustiness in the bay. Cannot have anything crusty in the engine bay. Now the plan is to eventually put the battery in the back of the car and have all of this space here open, but for the time being, with that painted gloss black and probably getting a cover for the battery, I think it'll look just fine right here. Battery tray is looking a million times better now. While that's drying, we can go ahead and work on the vacuum lines. All right, so as far as vacuum lines go, I have a ton of pieces here, but I think I'm gonna use, where'd it go? This piece here will go into this bottom one right there, and then it's gonna come up, and there'll be a T right in the middle, one end going to here, one end going to here, and the T will go this way to that one back there. So I have the T already, which is this piece right here, and then I have all the little adapter pieces, and I have tons of just vacuum line in general, so this shouldn't be too hard to do. All right, easy enough. We have the one coming off the fuel pressure regulator, comes down to our T right there. One side goes to here, the other side runs nice and clean, tucked away, all up under there, right to that. So this side for vacuum line should be good to go. I have to figure out where the one for the brake booster goes to. I think it might be this one right here. Like I said, this one was already capped off when I first got the car. There's this one and this one. The Mark IVs have tons of crossovers and all that kind of stuff, so I might be able to leave some of those capped, but I think the one from the brake booster might be going to this one right here. So next up will be the braided line that'll go from the clutch master cylinder on the firewall down to the slave cylinder on the transmission. All right, there is our top one. Now we can go ahead and pull this little cover piece out of this one. There is that. I'll wrap this one around. Like so. There it is, line number 2. Make sure everything is nice and snug. We don't want to have any leaks down here. There's that one. We'll do this one up here as well. There it is. There we are. Line ran from the master cylinder down to the slave cylinder. I gotta say, this fitting right here looks really nice. The whole kit from Fabulous is super sick. So now let's go ahead and get the line ran from here to the power steering pump, and from this side under the rail to right here on the reservoir. And we're gonna be using this hose right here. This is actually the same hose I use for Miley, so I know it's the right size. I gotta say, getting things done in this car feels really good. So the power steering lines are now done, that side over there, and then over here running under the frame rail to there. So at this point, the entire power steering section is all good to go. Now, I was about to put the battery tray back in, but I forgot to grab the Mark IV OTJ style oval switch for this car. This is the Mark III square style reverse switch, where you can see now I have the Mark IV the oval switch. So back to the junkyard, grab it real quick, splice that on, and then once that's all plugged in, we can put the battery tray back over this. All right, so way down there is the reverse switch connector that I need. So I'm gonna pull this out of the way so we can get access to it. Of course the battery had to die. All right, fresh battery. There we go. Put the tray out of the way, you can see right there is the reverse switch. I just need the connector off of it. And there she is, boys. That is all we need. So now all we gotta do, cut off the Mark III reverse switch connector, wire in the Mark IV one. This will plug right into there, and then we'll have our reverse lights. Old connector is now off, and our new connector is now on. Everything's all wired up. I was talking to Matt, it doesn't matter which wire from this side goes to this side, it's gonna work either way. So now once we plug it in, we should have reverse lights. Painting the battery tray was 100% the move. The engine bay looks a million times cleaner now. Now we can go through, put the battery back in, and test our reverse switch. This thing is looking more and more complete. And check this out. For the first time in forever, we got taillights back on the Savoy. So now we can go through and check and see if our reverse lights are actually gonna work. So down, there's that. And maybe the key has to be in. And the key has to be in, hang on. Where's the key actually? Uh-oh. Oh, I have it. There we go. Key in, I want to say it is. There we go. Now reverse lights? Yes. Bam. Bam. Wired up properly. Look at us go. Actually, I just realized, even with the switch off, my brake lights, I want to say, are still staying on, which is weird. That's not changing. Under the dash, my favorite place ever. What's happening up here? So let's see. There's a plug-in right there. Oh, that might be the problem. So you see there's a gap here. If I press this, I bet it turns off. Let me see. Okay, so either my button here, the brake switch, is stuck and not going far enough forward to reach the pedal, or this isn't going far enough back. But I mean, that's all the way. So what I can do is just put something on the end of this to make sure it hits it and actually pushes it like that. That way it actually turns the lights off. Because right now if I leave it plugged in, it'll kill the battery. But we'll have to just address that, whether this one's stuck a little bit or this isn't going back far enough. One of the two, but we can fix that. Fixing that will be a tomorrow kind of thing. It's to the point where it's just too cold out here and I want to go inside. But lots of progress made. Shifter's done. The line from the master cylinder to the slave cylinder's done. This has been painted. Vacuum lines are done. Lots and lots of good progress today. I think it's only right. We've been ending off the night with some VR5 sounds, so we might as well do it again. It's just such a good sound. That sound. I love it. I love it. I love it. Such a good sound. Actually, hang on. We've been showing a lot of love to the VR5, which sounds amazing, but we gotta show some love to the VR6 too. Get you one covered real quick. So the VR5 is great, but we can't forget about the OG here. Now, just so happen to have the keys on me. Funny enough. Oh yeah, I think a VR6 cold start is definitely in order as well. And the car's not dead. Always good, always good. All right, wait for it. Now, obviously not as loud as the VR5, but that one's just straight open cat. But you know what? Oh wow. You see? I set off the alarm of the R32. Just, you know, VR6 things. Yeah. I'll grab the keys. All right, it's only fair. We gotta get a couple revs going real fast. Just a couple. Like I said, at idle, the car is nowhere near as loud as a VR5, but that VR6 tone, like this car, I love this exhaust setup. Just it's so good. And yes, the car is warm. No one start crying. It's just so angry. The VR engine platform is just amazing. Patiently waiting for nice weather to drive this car. All right, that is it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.